Toodle do, my merry band of bitches. It's your boy, Dr. Goon. Welcome to Goon Nation. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to do so. We're on the road to 30K. And if you love the intro, let me know in the comment section down below. I feel like it really wakes you up, punches you in the face. So, I had covered some of the Hulk run by Philip Kennedy Johnson in recent videos not too long ago. You can go check them out. I think I did the first 2 or 3 issues, plus I had a sit-down interview with him, which unfortunately the audio got kind of corrupted at certain spots, but I'll certainly have him on again, right? And you guys have been asking for me to catch up on the new Hulk, whether in my server, on my Discord, which you should join, by the way, games, prizes, D&Ds, giveaways, and more, all that. As well as like hitting me up in DMs, commenting on videos, just telling me catch up on the new Hulk. So I've decided we're going to do a story review today. Currently, 12 issues of this run has dropped so far. It's an epic saga in the Hulk franchise. I'm super excited to cover this. Actually, just recently spoke to Philip about this run, literally about 20 minutes before I started recording. He told me some things that are going to happen and explained some details that really helps tie things together. So without spoiling, of course, I'll be using some of his insight. And again, he's one of the good guys in the game. Go to your local comic shop or hop online and purchase his incredible Hulk run. Big shout out to him. But without further ado, we've done enough of an intro. I hope you guys are ready, and let's begin. So, issue 1 starts off with explorers rummaging around an ancient temple, right? This is pretty straightforward. They are there for the bag. They are there to collect whatever treasures they can find. However, they soon find out they fucked up coming here, right? Because they don't find treasures. What they really find is monsters. Now, when confronted by these ghastly beings within the temple, we see one of the ghouls explains, hey, the green door is shut, and Marvel is about to be absolutely cooked because the shutting of the green door allows for the arrival of another being, a being who is opposed to the one below. Of course, this is a reference to the one below all, as we know is like the opposite of the one above all. But there's a third party involved that is ready to make their move in the Marvel landscape. Panning over to Banner and Hulk, we see that, and there's no better way to put this. Banner's in a diner in Kentucky, right? I think it's Jake's Diner. And he's tripping balls. Like he doesn't know what's going on. He's absolutely going through it when it comes to the nature of Hulk. As recently, before this run, he had a story arc where he took over Hulk, basically tortured him in a mental landscape, and used him as this engine or machine. And so Hulk's not fucking with Banner right now, and it's causing some madness between the two. And as he's in the diner tripping out, and he runs off, kind of alerting the police, that shit's going on, as something happened at the diner, Banner keeps hearing in his own head that this is all his fault. And him running away from this smoke, this beef with whatever is in his head, he's obviously soon to undergo the change of becoming Hulk as he runs into the swamp. We then see another major character in the story, and this is something you guys got to understand. This Hulk run introduces a shit ton of new characters. Okay, so you really got to lock in. And if you guys want to see any of these characters covered in their own Goon Explains video, let me know in the comment section down below. But this is a young girl named Charlie who's trying to fix her a car, and it's pretty obvious why, right? She lives in an abusive household. Her dad's fucking crazy, and she's trying to get out of there. She's like, I don't really care if my dad finds out I'm doing this shit, because he's gonna beat my ass anyway, so let's just try to dip. We then see that she's obsessed with the idea of overcoming her own personal demons and monsters. She sees her dad as her personal monster, and one day she wants to be big enough and strong enough to defeat this monster, this hurdle in her way of life. And we actually see when she's running off, she has merchandise from Captain America. Now, at first, I thought this was just like a funny nod to Captain America because obviously it's within the same universe, but it actually is a big deal to her. Captain America is, so keep that in mind because you'll see it pop up more than once. We then see a being named Elder is on the scene of this diner, the scene of where actions took place supposedly, and where the Hulk could be. And we find out right away Eldis is about that life, right? Like, it is insanely powerful because this bitch goes, "Oh, I smell the green door." Now, if you guys remember, the green door is what opens up to the one below all, okay? And she says, "All right, we need to find the key to this door. We need to find the key to returning Mother to her place." And she enlists the help of an eldritch hunter to help find him, which of course being Fractured Son, aka Hulk, and sends the hunter off. We then cut back to Charlie running from her dad. And her dad is like, "Yo, bitch, get back here. I'm trying to fuck you up." And she says, "No, dad, don't hit me." Hits him with a mean crossover, and he crashes into a tree. That is when Charlie, actually running away from that, finds Hulk. Well, rather, she finds Banner being surrounded by agents as Banner's trying to tell them get the fuck out of Dodge because Hulk is coming. And she witnesses Banner Hulk up. Now, Charlie, upon returning to where her dad was, sees him crawling out the car, and she has zero sportsmanship. Starts kicking the shit out of him, okay? She beats the hell out of her dad. To the point that, in fact, and this will be prominent later, she might have killed him. Like, he was already fucked up, and she went in there and got her licks in. So he may well be on the deathbed because of her. We then see, cutting back over, as again, these first issues are really setting the stage for a bigger Hulk story. So we're getting a bunch of new characters. We see that Eldis has gone forth using the dead and other demons to kind of help her locate the Fractured Son. And she's consulted the likes of the dead Betty Ross, who of course was a love interest of Bruce Banner. And we see everyone fears the Fractured Son. Eldis actually confirms the hype. She's like, "Hey, everyone should be afraid of the Fractured Son, because if he wants to, he could really fuck shit up." And she confirms to the hunter, like, "Yeah, you can run off. You found him, but this is a crazy motherfucker. We gotta prep properly to take him on." One of the big reasons he's so important, as Betty tells Eldis, like, "Hey, look, I know you're planning on running up on Hulk, but Bruce is there too, and Bruce ain't gonna go out like a bitch. He's not gonna want you to take Hulk because he doesn't know what you're gonna do with Hulk." And Hulk possesses the God Flesh. This flesh being capable of apparently helping Mother of Horrors come completely back, away from where she was sealed by Toa or Toba. And even though Betty is warning her, like, "Hey, don't fucking run up on Hulk," she's like, "Hey, Fractured Sons tried to kill me before. It was not successful. We're gonna get the bag. We're gonna bring the Mother of Horrors back." We see that Hulk is explained at the end of issue 1 to be what represents the one below all on Earth. He is the monsters of all monsters. He's the Fractured Son. And we see that the one below all is, in fact, in opposition to the Mother of Horrors. They have real beef. Eldis calls forth to every monster in existence and says, "Hey, Mother is supposed to come back. Mother's the one who blessed you all to be monsters. You need to slide on the Hulk. You need to take his ass down. Shit is getting real as a cosmic hit has been placed on the Hulk." Now, we also get kind of important to note, at least in the author note after issue 1, and again, Philip does a fantastic job dropping these when we need them in the story. But Hulk is indeed set to face all the monsters throughout the multiverse. He's set to face all the bad guys. And due to this, you gotta respect the fact that Hulk is indeed about to set out to prove he's the strongest there is, because he is. And that means basically whatever gauntlet of bullshit we're about to run into, whether it's an eldritch being, a primordial monster, God. Hulk's gonna be throwing hands with all of them. He's on that level right now. And it's if you're a Hulk fan, you're hella up at this point. Issue 2 starts with a poem about Brother Deep coming home to face the one below all. This is when we also see Banner meets back up with Charlie, as again, this friendship is not secured, and frankly, she has more stock in the Hulk than she does in Banner. While they're arguing, talking, walking along the road, they run into an old man who is absolutely zombified. Like, I don't even know why the fuck they bothered talking to him. He looks like either the most ancient of all tweakers or he's like a zombie. And he speaks on the return of Brother Deep and Sister Sadie, who, of course, Charlie and Banner have no reference for, and they don't know who the fuck they are, okay? And as nightmares that night plagued the likes of both Banner and Charlie, Hulk says, "Do not fret, for he will set out and replace Banner soon." There's this ongoing theme that what Banner did to Hulk recently was unforgivable among their past transgressions regardless, and there can only be one remaining. Hulk does intend on getting rid of Banner. We then see old summonings, this old folks slash skeletons, worshipping Brother Deep, as across town, Cop is picking up Banner and Charlie as he finds them both suspicious, and he's bringing them forth, right? This town clearly is compromised. That's when we see this congregation has come forth because the return is here. Brother Deep is coming back. The one who stood against the one above and the one below is returning for his rightful place as God, setting up an eventual clash between Brother Deep and Hulk. The issue ends with Brothers worshippers killing Banner, which of course brings forth Hulk. Now, this was kind of a funny moment as well, because Banner was like, "Hey, Hulk, I really need you to come forth." And Hulk was like, "Hey, that's cool. Like, I understand you want me to slide for you, but just letting you know, you gotta die first." And just lets Banner get stabbed. Like, knew the boy was getting put on a t-shirt, but was like, "Fuck you, Banner. I want to see you get folded before I help you." Now, as you would expect, Hulk pops up, fucks these old people up, right? They're trying to gas the situation. He's not going for it. He's like, "You guys are not a problem for me. Get the fuck out of my face. I'm making moves." And Hulk disses Charlie as he's walking away from her. He's like, "Hey, you puny bitch. You're weak. You had to be saved from these people. Like, I don't need you on my journey." Now, Charlie, if you haven't noticed by now, she's tough, right? Like, she's hood as hell. She was like, "Shut the fuck up, Hulk. Like, you're talking crazy, but I'm here with you. I've been on this journey with you. I'm gonna be a monster like you. Like, don't just disrespect. I'm one of the goats as well." And that's when we see she is actually drawn into a hole leading down to the worshipping shrine of Brother Deep. Now, Hulk, this is pretty cool. Hulk, even though, he's talking shit to her and he was talking shit before, Hulk's not a bad guy, right? Hulk's a monster. That doesn't mean he's a bad monster. And he jumps into the hole to save Charlie and to save her from crashing down. As he was pissed when he did it, he was like, "You stupid fucking child. Now we're stuck down here. I don't know what's going on. You had to fall down a hole. Like, this is cooked." And they run into the summoning area of Brother Deep. And that's when we get the backstory to this beef, right? Like, why it's so fucking real for Brother Deep's camp. They explain that the one above all and the one below all, which at one point was one being, they happened upon Brother Deep. Brother Deep was made to be a golden god. Toa, basically, was player hating. He didn't like that, was a fact. Toba manifested, went forth, and fucked Brother Deep. The reason this is beef with Hulk is the lady goes, "You understand, right, fractured son? That same green look in your eyes, those were the eyes of the one below all and the one above all." And that's when we see the return of Brother Deep, as revenge will be his. Now, Hulk didn't even want this beef. He's like, "Look, I've never fought this bitch. I don't know who they are. No need to try to beef with me. Like, we could just be cool. Leave us the fuck alone." Of course, that's not happening. Brother Deep returns, immediately tries to start killing Fractured Sun, as Fractured Sun faces off with the being that he apparently bodied in his past life. Hulk then informs Brother Deep during this battle that he has the right to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Hulk tears through Brother Deep. It's bad. It was not even close. He beat the shit out of that fake guy. Down goes Brother Deep. And in the moments after taking him down, when he sees Charlie stomping out an aspect of Brother Deep, Hulk can't lie. He's like, yo, Charlie, maybe you're not the strongest there is. Maybe you're not someone that could really help me in the trenches. However, I respect the fuck out of your hustle. You can roll with me, little homie. You're pretty cool. And we see that bond beginning to blossom between Hulk and Charlie as he understands and relates to Charlie. In the end of the issue, we do get another author note from my boy Philip that shows Brother Deep was in fact made to stand in for the one above all. He was basically made in defiance of the one below all, kind of like the literal concept of the golden calf. Hoa got so mad when he saw this that rage manifested, or the one below all aspect, and he hooked Brother Deep, burying him within the mountains. Issue 4 comes forth, and we see people are tripping balls again, okay? The swamp is not the place to be in Marvel. Don't go to the fucking swamp. There's always some bullshit happening. And we see dead people are haunting the swamp. More specifically, dead people that seem intrinsically tied to those that view the swamp. That is, if you have a dead relative or loved one, or any way the case may be, that kind of haunts you, they will manifest here. That's when we see both Banner and Charlie are at a diner. And they're going back and forth. Banner's trying to explain to her that it's not safe ultimately to follow him around. So she should probably try to like get out of there, go do her own thing. And that's when Charlie figures out she needs to dip as well, because her face pops up on the TV as wanted for murdering her father. The block is fucking hot. And this is when we see Charlie runs off to the swamp where it's not safe. And when she gets there, she sees her old dead brother as he begs her to come forth and save her and come into the swamp. You know, we see this trap is once again being set in the swamp. That's when we see Bruce Banner in his endeavors gets pulled up on by Man-Thing. I almost said Swamp Thing. The same fucking thing, okay, guys? Like DC, Marvel, Swamp Thing, Man-Thing, basically the same thing. And Banner's like, yo, you're Ted Salas, you're the Man-Thing. I've known about all the crazy shit you've done in the past. Don't deal with me right now, okay? I'm going through a lot. I don't think we need any dealings. And Man-Thing's not going for that. He fucking shreds, pulls up on Banner. This, of course, brings forth Hulk, who absolutely shreds Swamp Thing. I mean, literally tears him to pieces. There cannot be a more accurate way to describe this back and forth. He just straight ripped him in pieces. That's when we see Swamp Thing has brought Hulk to the Nexus. And he says, yo, Hulk, I brought you here. I made you manifest Hulk because I deeply need your help. There's something fucked up going on out there. They all seem to want to have beef with you. I even heard the call of this shit. And it's bringing forth powers and beings that threaten even the nexus of all realities. The nexus of all realities in Marvel is essentially the multiverse. It's more prominently tied in to stuff like the X-Men runs. Man-Thing protects the nexus, but essentially the nexus fall, all realities would theoretically fall as well. That's when we see at the end of issue 4 that the Swamp Witch is who attacked Charlie at the end of the issue and is one of the beings Swamp Thing needs help in defeating. Issue 5 starts off with the Swamp Witch desperately trying to consume Charlie. Charlie is resisting and is like, look, my brother's dead. You're trying to hoe me right now. Like, I know this shit is getting weird and it's not supposed to be happening. And the Swamp Witch is like, look, you can become one with the swamp, become one with me. You don't have to worry about pain anymore. And Hulk is arguing with he's arguing with Ted again, right? Tears him apart. He's like, shut the fuck up. You keep trying to bargain with me. And Man Thing's like, dude, you have to lock in. Like, you have to help, or the Nexus will fall. And when that approach isn't really working with Hulk, who does not give a fuck about the status of the Nexus, Swamp Thing or Man Thing says, look, I know I keep saying Swamp Thing, Man Thing. They're the same thing. I can't say that enough. Man Thing brings up that if Hulk doesn't stop the Swamp Witch, not only will the Nexus fall, but more specifically, the Swamp Witch is in the middle of murdering Charlie. The little girl will die because Hulk refuses to do anything. Now, like we talked about earlier, Hulk's not an asshole, okay? He's a monster, but he's not a dick. And he says, okay, we're going to pop out. We're going to save my little homie Charlie. As Swamp Witch is trying to consume Charlie, Hulk tells her to shut the fuck up and square up. He's like, look, you've got my friend right there. Either you put her down or I'm going to murder you. There's no arguing or debate. I'm putting you on a t-shirt. And as the Swamp Witch and the being she summons start going back and forth with Hulk, she tells Hulk through one of the little bodies, like, hey, the Mother of Horrors is coming. The Mother of Horrors is on her way. And she will be there soon. And in perhaps one of the coldest moments in Hulk comics, Hulk looks at this voice, looks at this creature and goes, she might be here, but you won't. And starts to murder the shit out of the Swamp Witch. Like, the Swamp Witch, she's officially on life alert. This is getting rough. Hulk is on her ass. And after that body is caught, right? Eldis herself shows up. Eldis kind of being the top dog for Mother of Horrors, who they're trying to free. She says they're all children of Mother, right? As currently, Banner is back in human form, given he witnessed the breakdown of Charlie, talking about her dead brother, and it kind of made him human again. And she's trying to bargain. She's basically here to bargain. They were made against the will of the one above all the monsters. And the Hulk has to help Mother return. And if Hulk is handed over to help Mother, Banner can escape. But of course, Banner senses a double cross. He knows this shit's fucked up. He's not giving up the Hulk. And he says, nah, we're moving on. As Eldis says the choice looms closer, the issue ends with us getting more backstory of Swamp Witch, who in her past life got tortured and killed back in the day. One of the OG witches was accused of witchcraft, and as a result became a super powerful entity soon after. Here we get to issue 6, or halfway through this beginning of the run, as of course we're covering the first 12 issues that have dropped, and we'll cover each issue as they drop after. Make sure to smash the like button if you have not done so already. We move on to the state of Texas, and we see shit's getting real. Monsters are attacking humans. This place is fucked up. And of course, days later, Banner and Charlie arrive. Banner, of course, is comforting Charlie about the idea that she may have killed her dad. He was like, look, the dude ran into a tree. He was trying to fuck you up. Honestly, even if you did help kill him, who gives a fuck? That dude was a monster. And she, of course, brings up Captain America again, as she says, you know, Captain America was one of my influences. Like, I always thought someone like Cap would come and save me from my monsters. And that's when we see Banner and Charlie are warned by a passing family that they need to get off the road. And the reason for this is that at night, monsters roam. Now, at first, Banner and Charlie kind of interpret this as like coyotes and stuff like that, which obviously Banner wouldn't give a fuck about with the Hulk around. But it's monsters that apparently roam. That's when we see, and one of my favorite reveals in this run so far. And by the way, get in the comment section after you watch this video or during, if you've read the issues up to this point. Let me know your favorite new character. Is it Brother Deep? Is it what we're about to see? Which is the undead Ghost Rider. That's right, one of the coolest fucking Ghost Riders about to pop up. And apparently that's what's been keeping this small band of humans alive. At night, the Ghost Rider will show up. He's some kind of mean avenging angel, and he protects them from the monsters. And that's when Charlie says, yeah, I have a mean angel of my own. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's when we see that night, the World War II-esque Ghost Rider shows up, helmet on, starts shooting at Hulk immediately. And Hulk's like, hey, stop fucking shooting at me before it really it goes down. And the Rider goes, yo, I'm the guardian angel here. Some shit's happening. You appear to be the shit that's happening. So square up. Let's get it in. Now, issue 7 starts off with obviously this battle being a case of mistaken identity. This Ghost Rider serves as the guardian angel to one of the kids that's there. And anytime danger looms that could kill the kid, the Ghost Rider pops up. Hulk obviously manifests at night. Well, Hulk manifesting here and being here at the same time the Ghost Rider manifests naturally leads the Rider to believe, oh, this Hulk thing has to be what the danger sense is about. This Hulk is like, yo, why are you being so fucking weird? I've never met a Rider like you. That's when we soon see the Rider realizes, okay, this Hulk thing, this isn't my real op. Like, he's just here at the same time of the real ops. And this auto defense system is targeting the wrong thing. Even though Hulk is here, even though the Rider is here, both of them are on the same side. There's other monsters that are looming. Now, this is when we see, in one of the coolest character designs, by the way, one of the Eldritch monsters, one of the hunters, is here, right? And Hulk says, yo, I can tell you're from the Eldis. Where the fuck is that bitch? Because she's been talking about she wants to fight me, she wants to take my skin, all this. Tell that bitch to come outside. It's kind of funny. Hulk's like, yo, she's really that tough. I'm right here. Where's that bitch at? And the Rider or the Hunter basically tells him, like, no human can be in the garden or whatever. And Hulk's not going for it, right? Another t-shirt is set to be handed out as Hulk starts beating the fuck out of this monster. He's like, yo, you're talking crazy. I hate the bitch you're with. Y'all keep trying to kill me. Y'all keep speaking in cryptic codes. Fuck you and where you came from. I'm putting you down. We also see after this that, of course, the Hulk and the Rider in their beef, as both realize they're, to an extent, good, and they're on the same side. As Hulk says, yo, if you ever shoot at me again, you being dead won't save you from an ass whooping. And the Rider, as Charlie is like, yo, that bike is badass, which she said she had dreamed Cap would pick her up on a bike like that to take her on adventures and save her. He goes, yo, you got a cigarette? She's like, no, I'm a kid. And he says, oh, well, fucking of course you don't have a cigarette. And just disappears. He's gone. Shout out to the undead Ghost Rider. A badass appearance for sure. We then see what's going on when Hulk takes over Banner, right? He's keeping Banner locked up in what looks like a cage made of monster bones inside of him as he's like, hey, I got Hulk down. Or I've got Banner down, right? Like, he's paying for his sins. And at that point, the camp starts to get uneasy as Hulk his eyes begin to change. And he's speaking in a way that is not Hulk at all. We see that Hulk is being mentally assaulted and taken over by something called the War Devil. As the War Devil returned with his legion as well. The War Devil is setting upon us. The issue also ends with a pretty interesting part of Gamma Readings, where Philip will basically address readers that have written in. And in one of the answers, he states that Hulk, however way you want to put it, he's going to be fighting eldritch beings, primordial beings, cosmic beings, and gods. Hulk is absolutely on that level right now. Issue 8 starts off with Banner facing War Devil in the mind of Hulk. By the way, one of the coolest fucking drawings or depictions of this mental battle that you could have in comics. Like, this panel is so crazy. Like, this is the way this is drawn, incredible. And the War Devil's like, yep, when I took over the beast, this monster, I was shocked to find another one inside of here. As of course he's referring to Banner. As Banner's like, what are you doing here? And the War Devil goes, no humans shall be inside my garden. This is when we see possessed Hulk gets ran down on. Who would even run down on a possessed Hulk? Like, who's that brave and strong enough? Of course, it's the undead Ghost Rider. He manifests as Hulk is being messed with and immediately begins shooting at Hulk. He's like, fuck the rap shit. I gotta get this guy out of here. And starts blasting away at him, doing his best to hold off this possessed Hulk. We see that Jenny the Gaul is the op, right? Or Jagal. It's either Jagal or the Gaul. Whatever it is, it's fire, okay? It's the War Devil. This was the first hunter of men. When men first came along and ruined all the spirits, ruined the earth, attacked Mother Earth, this was the avenging spirit, the War Devil. And we see the Hulk is openly resisting the War Devil as he says, hey, bitch, I see you in there talking to Banner. He's mine to keep in prison. Don't try to help the boy out. And just simply wills the War Devil out of himself, which is insane. It is also implied that War Devil was in the first garden ever, as he faces both the Hulk and the undead Ghost Rider as they have this crazy stare down. As War Devil's like, look, I was fighting wars before you were a concept. Like, I have legions beyond any count. That's when we see Hulk and Rider run down with the 2v1. As Hulk is talking his shit. He's jumping forward. He's getting active. He's swinging on War Devil. When shit's getting complicated, we see him. He's forming strategies. He's like, Ghost Rider, give me your fucking chains. Chains up War Devil. And he's like, hey, War Devil, real shit. You're strong. But you're not the strongest there is. That's when we see, in dramatic fashion, the War Devil goes down, losing the 2v1 versus Hulk and the undead Ghost Rider. As we can see, this War Devil's talking shit. Oh, the Mother will win. Hulk's like, shut the fuck up, okay? Eldis and Mother, they haven't popped out on me yet. Y'all are just talking greasy for the sake of talking greasy. That's when we see Ghost Rider in a conversation with Hulk. Hulk's like, yo, technically you'd be a monster as well. Like, why didn't you attack me with that bitch? And Ghost Rider said, hey, the nature of Ghost Riders is essentially to not fucking listen. So I just ignore the call. Like, I'm not going to do it. Which is interesting. It's interesting to see the Ghost Rider potentially has connections to the Mother of Horrors, the Ghost Rider concept itself. Like, Mother of Horrors is slowly permeating her way throughout Marvel history on a massive scale, kind of implementing herself in different sections of the mythos. That's when we see at the end of the chapter as well that the War Devil is the embodiment of the hate for man, as we get a more in-depth explanation behind the twisted spirit that took on Hulk and Undead Ghost Rider. As again, I remind you guys, if you want individual videos explaining any of these characters, these new characters, let me know in the comment section. Issue 9 starts off with New Orleans, and when I read this, I was like, oh my god. If everything else has been crazy so far, New Orleans is probably going to be fucked up. And we see it is. There's a lot of bullshit going down. People getting murdered. And an unknown, what appears to be serial killer, going around causing this, which confuses the hell out of the cops. The Eldis also shows up to Banner as well, trying to once again entice him to a trade. As Eldis says, look, like, I know you're fighting back against this, but this next transformation could very well be your last. Like, you need to lock in and get rid of the Hulk. We then see that Eldis and the Mother of Horrors are no longer playing fair, right? They're not just targeting Banner and Hulk. They're going after the child, Charlie, as apparently Charlie has a deeper tie to this than we know. We also see Hulk can tell she's in danger as he manifests and he's like, look, you don't threaten the little homie. I'm pulling up to find out what the fuck the beef is because they're fighting dirty. And we should have expected this as they've already incorporated the likes of Betty Ross. We then see this old lady was helping Charlie hide in a shop, right? Hide from the cops because, of course, Charlie is wanted by the police. And this old lady is not some regular old lady. This is some kind of spirit. Very well maybe tied into the serial killings, as Charlie, we find out, is now trapped. Issue 10 starts up with Hulk rummaging around in New Orleans, right? The Hulk's pissed. He's like, yo, my homegirl's missing. Y'all are on bullshit. Tell me where Charlie is. And he's scaring the shit out of everyone as they're like, oh my god, do we call the cops? And people are like, no, you don't call the cops. It's Hulk. The cops aren't going to do shit to Hulk. Just get out the way and hope he doesn't fuck you up. We then see Frozen Charlotte is the serial killer, right? And she's captured Charlie and is chasing Charlie around in her weird kind of frozen kingdom located under the shop. And Frozen Charlotte says that she can negate her brothers, who are obviously eldritch in nature, as well as the ones below. So she's actually referencing not just her brothers, which would be the ones above, but the ones below as well. Ties to both heaven and hell. This is the Nephil, or Nephel. I don't know how the fuck you say it. But she has biblical ties, which we will see has a crazy payoff in this little arc involving Frozen Charlotte, right? But she references she's with the Nephil, she has ties to the Seraphim, all that, and that she's trying to incorporate Charlie among the angels. That's when Hulk meets a dead cop, right? And this cop is trying to run an investigation. Is like, oh shit, you look strong, like you should be deputized. And Hulk's like, yo, I don't know if you're tripping balls, but you're dead. You know you're dead, right? And the cop's like, oh shit, I guess I am dead. Well, I was investigating this serial killer. Now, this is a pretty dope tie-in with Frozen Charlotte. As we see, she had been killing for centuries within New Orleans. She was a killer that was known for using stuff like voodoo and would even turn people into dolls. But she has a nasty body count. Dozens upon dozens. That's when we see Hulk discovers this tomb-like place located under the shop, right? He finds all these unrested spirits in the form of dolls begging to be let loose. As even Hulk is like, yo, this bitch is crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on right now, but shit is getting real. That's when we see Charlotte pop up, right? And she's like, yo, I'm the Nephel. I don't know how the fuck you found me. Even the Lightbringer has not found me. Guys, that's big Lucifer. Okay, we rarely see him in Marvel. We rarely seen him shown or used. But Lucifer the Lightbringer, Lucifer Morningstar, is back in Marvel. He has popped up. As she says, this is the place of angels, and he will not attack this place because she is the mother of angels. She was the chosen angel for Lucifer himself, strong enough to bear his children. She was the first of the seraphim. She is the one who hides from immortals. Then we see in issue 11, Charlie's stuck, right? Like, she's been caged up. And she kind of makes a funny threat because she's like, hey, let me the fuck out. I hope y'all know I roll with Hulk. Like, Hulk's my shooter. I don't think y'all really want beef with me. That's when Nephel says she must protect Charlie from her humanity. Like, humanity is viewed by Frozen Charlotte as this absolute desecration. And for Charlie to be around it anymore would just desecrate her further. She needs to protect her and make her into an angel. And even according to Frozen Charlotte, Charlie had been praying her whole life, right? She had been praying to God to save her from the monsters in her life. And she said the answer to God's prayer was the Hulk. But she doesn't think that's fair. Because what is the Hulk but a blind, raging beast? Which, of course, Hulk disagrees with. Hulk hits her with the fuck it we ball 3000. As he isn't going for this whole freedom of angels speech. He's like, hey, this is real cool, but I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up. Because you're not going to take my homegirl from me. And you're not going to turn her into some doll. I'm going to beat your ass. We see she's popping her shit. She's like, look, I'm Lucifer's baby mama. I'm the consort of Lucifer Morningstar. the Lifebringer, the one who went against God himself. She fell in the war of heaven, and she still hides from both heaven and hell, as both sides want her. And she says that, like, her story's kind of sad. She was chosen by Lucifer, and she didn't actually do anything crazy in the war. It's just that she was Lucifer's bitch, so they're like, hey, she gotta go too. She has the power and the capabilities to hide from both the different layers of heaven and hell in Marvel as the Queen of Lucifer. Like, that's one of her blessings, one of her powers, and she's shocked that she ran into the Hulk at this point. Because, how? Like, that's just insane. And now this story is dope, this backstory is amazing, but guess who doesn't have time for that shit? You would have guessed right if you said the Hulk. He says, shut the fuck up, throw hands, and starts beating the shit out of her. He doesn't even know what she is. He's like, yo, you gave me like 20 different names for yourself, 20 different roles you play. I don't even know what the fuck you are. I'm just here to beat your ass. And of course, Hulk goes on a crazy streak where even she acknowledges he's the strongest one there is, as he beats the shit out of her. Like, he absolutely drops her off. And by the way, calling him the strongest there is crazy, because she's literally married to Lucifer himself. Shout out to Hulk surpassing Lucifer casually. Nephel also says Hulk is robbing the Seraphim itself, which is of course the holy army that can wage celestial wars. But Hulk doesn't care. He's like, look, I don't give a shit about this war you keep talking about. I don't give a shit about the Seraphim. I don't care about the Bible stuff you got going on. You're messing with me and the homies. That's all that matters to me. He's not going for it. And that's when we see she's going all out at this point. Like, she's hitting him with everything she has, blasting him with power, and she's like, yo, why won't you go down? Of course, when you've got Hulk mad enough, he's gonna walk through your shit. And he just walks through what she has to offer. And let me tell you, this ass whooping was so generational. It was so disrespectful that Lucifer himself showed up. He was like, oh shit, he's beating the hell out of my baby moms. And he was like, yo, I don't even know how you found her, because I could not find her. But I'm here to pick up my wife. There's no more beating her ass. Lucifer then warns Hulk to end the beef with him and his bitch. He's like, look, I see you got beef with Eldis. I know she's running around trying to fuck with you. Like, I don't care about all that. Just don't come looking for me and my bitch once you go beyond the door. And what's important here, and it's something I talked to Philip about, is due to the context of the story, it's written as Lucifer came from the mother of horrors. That gives Mother so much further cosmic context, so much more depth to the ties she has to this realm, to this cosmology, that it's insane. Like, there very well could be implications that she helped in the War of the Heavens or helped to cause it. It's a lot of crazy shit. As we see at the end of the issue, Charlie was turned into a doll. Hulk was too late. He arrives as she tells him to help her, and she's stuck in one of the voodoo dolls, which is fucked up. That's a terrible situation to be in. Of course, at the end of the issue 11 as well, is the Ballad of Frozen Charlotte, kind of explaining how she came to be and how she's one of the chosen monsters of the Mother of Horrors, as again, it's another piece to the remembrances of Eldis, who's kind of recalling the cosmology. Now we get to the final issue in this small movie of the Incredible Hulk run so far. Issue 12 starts off with the story cutting over to Strange Academy. Now, I absolutely love this. I even told Philip, like, this was an amazing tie-in, because I will be covering Strange Academy very soon. It's a really dope run, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to the channel. As they're sitting there, and they're bullshitting, there's like Dormammu Jr. and other members of the Strange Academy, as they're like, oh shit, why are the alarms going off? Like, who could possibly be here? As they're like, hey, who cares? We're Strange Academy. We can fight anyone. Well, of course, unfortunately for them, Hulk's the one that showed up. He's screaming Strange, like, Strange, bring me Strange. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, I gotta give credit to little Dormammu Jr., right? He calls ISO. Hey, I'm gonna fuck this green guy up for rolling up on us like this. Immediately gets truck sticked. Hulk was like, shut the fuck up. I have stuff to do. Move. Truck sticks the shit out of him as Dormammu Jr. goes flying. None of the students can really do shit to him, as eventually Dr. Voodoo has to step in. Now, Dr. Voodoo's a wildly capable character. This is someone that's replaced Doctor Strange as Sorcerer Supreme, can run the Strange Academy, and deals in even darker magics than Strange would hope to mess with. As Voodoo uses magic to kind of attack the soul and help bring Banner back to form, as he's like, okay, talk to me about what's going on. Well, while Banner is chained up, he explains the situation. He's like, look, Voodoo, I came here for Strange. He's a good friend of mine. We are trying to figure out how to save my friend who was turned into a fucking doll. Well, Voodoo, luckily for him, has plenty of experience with this type of magic. He's like, oh shit, this is an ancient eldritch type magic, but I have seen it before, and there is a potential way to help you save your friend. And he asks him, are you someone who is willing to risk an eternity of torment just to save the kid? And without hesitation, Banner says yeah. And it makes sense. At this point, Charlie's pretty much a representation of all the pain that both Banner and Hulk have gone through over the years. If anything, she's a lot like Banner was growing up. He had an abusive dad. He had monsters of his own, and it manifested in the Hulk. There's a ton of love and appreciation for Charlie that both Banner and Hulk have, as he says, okay, I'm willing to give my life, let's see what I have to deal with. If I have to go forth, give myself up, just to meet this person you're talking about, this flesh weaver who's apparently super evil, I will do so. Voodoo then says, all right, that's cool, but you have to be ready to completely clutch up Banner, because the flesh weaver you seek out, the one who could help deal with this doll situation, this is perhaps the most evil person to ever exist. You just need to be ready to deal with that shit. And that's when we see an insane moment where Hulk comes back. He manifests. And by the way, these transformations are absolutely disgusting. They look horrifying, which is kind of the purpose of this horror-driven series. As Dr. Voodoo backs up, he's like, what the fuck is that? You shouldn't be back. I completely banished your persona. And the Hulk said, don't care. I don't fuck with you. Takes Voodoo's staff and was like, shut the fuck up. You're pissing me off, wizard. Just stop talking. That's when we see both Hulk and Banner descend into the madness, as Hulk seems to be beyond soul splitting or even the darkest of magics that Voodoo could use. This is when we see Hulk grabs Banner when they go forth, and he's like, I finally got you. We're both here. I'm gonna fuck you up. But of course, this next issue will be both Banner and Hulk having to deal with the Flesh Weaver, who is about to make his appearance. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How do you think the Flesh Weaver arc will go as they've descended into this hellish realm? What do you think of the run so far? What do you think of Hulk surpassing Lucifer? What do you think of the Mother of Horrors? What do you think of all the new characters? Who's your favorite? There's a ton to talk about. I'll try to respond to every comment in this video. This was a little lengthy of a video, but again, it's the 12 current issues to get you all caught up. I just knocked it out at one time, and I hope you guys really appreciate it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy, Dr. Goon, and I will see y'all later. Peace.